So now let's see development of the skeletal system from the embryo. So we have to start from our trilaminar disc. Now just imagine if I roll this trilaminar disc into a roller, into a round circular paper. If you take a paper and roll it into a cylindrical shape, something like that, if you roll it, what will happen? You will see that inside the innermost lining will be your endoderm, middle will be meso, and outermost will be your ectoderm. It might look something like this. If you can see here, this is your ectoderm outside, and in the center this is your mesoderm. And because we have rolled it, we just folded it like this. It was flat initially like this, straight. Now ecto, meso center, and inside this is endoderm. It was flat like this. The above one was ecto, below one was endo, and the center red one was mesoderm. And in center we have notochord and neural tube above. Now I want to tell you one more very interesting thing. We know that bilaminar and trilaminar discs were round, circular and we saw that at the primitive groove, that is the caudal end, we are losing the cells, as all the cells when they proliferate, they enter inside the groove and down, make mesodermal, endodermal layers. And also few cells go towards the primitive pit which makes the notochordal tube. So the cephalic area, there we see that cells are increasing. So eventually as the caudal end is decreasing and cephalic is increasing, we will see this circular laminar discs changing into oval shape. Something like this. And when this trilaminar disc rolls like a cylinder, something like you are rolling a paper, then you can see that the endoderm, it converts itself into a endodermal tunnel. Now here, what happens to the mesoderm? Let's see. During the third week in intraembryonic mesoderm, in its outer part, a small cavity is formed, and the medialmost mesoderm is influenced by neural tube or notochord to proliferate a lot, and then this thickened mass is formed which is called as paraxial mesoderm. You can see in this picture also the central part which is mesoderm. The medialmost part thickens and that becomes the paraxial mesoderm. Next to that, intermediate mesoderm is formed. That is also a thickened area. The circular ring which you can see next to paraxial mesoderm, the circular area, that is the intermediate mesoderm. As I said, laterally is the lateral plate. This lateral plate develops a cavity and divides into two layers. When it divides into two layers, the layer which is above, that joins the ectoderm, and below it joins the endoderm. Because above mesoderm is ectoderm, so naturally upper layer will join the ectoderm, and below mesoderm the layer is endoderm, so the lower part of the lateral plate will join the endoderm. Ectoderm layer is also called as somatic layer, and the endoderm layer is also called as the splantling or a visceral layer. See, as we know that the endoderm makes the lining, it turns into a cavity where all the visceral organs are placed, so naturally it will be called as visceral layer. So this becomes easier to remember. The intermediate mesoderm will prepare the kidneys and urogenital system. Splanchnic or visceral layer of mesoderm will prepare visceral and smooth muscles. Somatic layer will prepare the body wall of the muscles. And the endodermal tunnel will develop into gastrointestinal system and musculature of the gastrointestinal system. And when ectoderm also fuses in front with each other, it gets converted into skin. Now here can you see this somatic layer also meets each other and it provides the body wall, and here ribs will be formed. Musculature of the body wall will develop. Thus the cavity produced here will develop the thoracic cavity, which provides space for the pleura and pericardial cavities. Now see here carefully. You will see neural tube and you will see paraxial mesoderm beside this. Now this paraxial mesoderm only undergoes segmentation process. Lot of segments come out of this area from paraxial mesoderm. Let's see how. Something like this, and each and every segment is called as a somite. These somites only become thick tissue blocks as they get cut. Every block is called as somite, and this is where is your vertebral column from your occiput till your coccyx. These somites divide into two, dorsal and ventral area, and from visceral and somatic layer of intraembryonic mesoderm, and some vertebral column is derived from the ventral part of the somites. How our limbs develop? Limbs develop from the trunk. Ectoderm moves laterally. So when ectoderm moves laterally, we know what is attached with it? The somatic layer of the lateral plate of mesoderm. When mesoderm divides into two layers, the upper part that proliferates and makes the mesoderm of limbs. So this is how our skeletal system develops. Thank you.